everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Self Improvement Project. I hope you are all well. And this week, I'm talking to you about being. The title of this is You Are a Human Being, Not a Human Doing. Now, you may think, what a simple and obvious title, but as you'll see as this episode develops, something that humans are not very good at is being aware, being awake to life that goes on around them. By blindly following society, by doing everything that everybody else expects of us, we are almost in a subconscious state, essentially being asleep as we walk through life. This might be attributed to school, where we are expected to follow authority, follow tasks that we are given. If we complete those tasks, we are then accomplished. We are successful. We are role models to everybody around us. But that's not how life works. Life is not linear. Life is non-linear. The plot of very good movies are when a character faces crisis. A crisis that makes their life fall apart. But how common is this, actually? And this is where this awakening can be so severe and damaging when we go through years of being asleep. This awakening is not pleasant, and it's never something that anyone teaches you on how to react to. So, everything you do as a human and as an individual should never be a means to an end. You should not be completing X, Y, and Z to reach this. Yes, there's going to be simple tasks in life that you have to do in order to do that, i.e. simple tasks such as if you want clean clothes, you need to get your clothes out the washing basket, you need to put them in the washing machine, you need to add the laundry detergent to then wash your clothes, you then need to dry your clothes so you can wear them, etc. But I'm meaning on a grander scale, from your career to your relationships to your overall health. Everything should be a means to a means. It's a continual journey. There are no outcomes. You're not doing something for something in return. Pure unconditionality, if that's even a word, is how we should view life. Because without having an end that we rely on, we usually end up with a pretty serendipitous outcome and return anyway. When we don't expect anything in return, we usually get pleasantly surprised, or more than we bargained for. And this happens all the time in life. And it comes back to my point of this episode of simply being and embracing being. If you want more on the concept of being present, I would recommend anything in relation to that or mindfulness as a starting point. But as a thought, I always find these topics a wee bit contradictory as an approach, as we always have to remind ourselves to be present. We need to remind ourselves to be mindful, almost like a light switch. But shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't we almost be allowed to daydream and then something flicks that switch that makes us complete something that, in life we need to do? As you can imagine, again, sometimes a great plot for a movie or a story, but we get old way too quickly nowadays. We regret having not done this when we were younger, or having gone travelled, reminiscing about the good old days when we were free and we were careless. But you never were. When you're a teenager, all you're worried about is the social side of things, being cool. You're worried about exams, maybe to get into university, or worried about getting a job, worried about your next relationship, because this is how we have been programmed and forced to compare. Our relationship with comparison is extremely unhealthy. The grass is always greener, but I saw a great quote about envy. I can't remember where it was from the other day, but around envy, where you can maybe compare yourself with someone and what you see is this beautiful plant or flower when you look at someone that you envy. But what you aren't seeing is the entire forest that person's life is like. There'll be maybe some dead trees. There'll maybe be some plants or flowers that need attending to, but you are honed in on this success, and that's how unhealthy comparison can be. Some examples of being as a starting point as well for you: writing in solitude, reading in solitude, getting a good book, or if you're not sure about what book to read, what interests you at the moment, go and find a book on that. It's never been easier to source. Socializing, playing, a hobby, even breathing can help. On the flip side, examples of doing: comparing ourselves, working in a dead-end job, scrolling, which is very relevant nowadays. If you're always doing and working towards goals, you never appreciate the satisfaction of the journey. Have you ever sat on a plane going on holiday? And yes, everybody goes for the window seat, but does everybody appreciate the window seat? When you are either leaving or approaching your destination, some of the most beautiful views that you will never be able to capture in person again will be out of that window. And these are these beautiful moments within the journey that we need to savor and appreciate. Fulfillment never comes from one pinnacle moment. It comes through all of the great bricks that you've laid along the way when building your house or building this fantastic building. It always comes back to a key skill that you can work on: self-awareness. Stopping and catching yourself doing is a very good skill to have. Taking time aside to think about what you really want in life and why you want it. Why are you doing what you're doing right now? What is the value in it? These big questions are scary, which is why awakening is so unpleasant. Life is not about completing tasks. It's about visiting themes in your life that are important to you. Nobody else can tell you these are what should be important. You decide what is important. These are your themes and who you are. But more on self-awareness another time. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening about how you can be a better and more wholesome human being and not a human doing. I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to catching up with you guys all soon. Cheers.